Hey, yo,
Hello.
GM. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be back up here with you.
Thank goodness. We were worried.
Oh, nothing to worry about. Not my first rodeo, although I will say this one kicked my ass.
It did.
Yeah, the first 3 days are pretty rough, man. Yeah.
My poor Bubala. I'm happy you're back.
Yeah, me too, man. Well, I'll see how much energy I have by the end of this show, but like feeling better. I feel like I can, say a whole sentence without the need to like cough or be huffing and puffing. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm feeling good about it though. So I appreciate it though, and I appreciate all of the well wishes and everything too. If you haven't had it, it's not fun. I can't remember if you have or not, but
Yes, I have had it before. Godspeed.
yeah, it's definitely not the most enjoyable experience I've ever had. So, but yeah, we prevail, right? So, it's been a couple days. Happy to get back up on here, share the stage with my my counterpart, free market capitalist, and it looks like trying to get caught up because I'll be honest with you, I didn't spend a ton of time in front of the screen. I had some obligations to do. The spaces we did last night and whatnot, but other than that, it was mostly just spent in bed resting up. It looks like it's all ape. It looks like Moonbirds has I'm gonna say calm down. It's on the 38th floor, but yeah, the whole conversation is the other side seems to be all anyone's talking about, and rightfully so.
Absolutely.
How about you? What have you been up to? You've been watching the NBA playoffs a little bit? Have you been just vibing, just chilling, spending time on spaces?
My friend, just NFTs and Twitter. NFTs and Twitter. It's an obsession. It's a life.
Yeah, for sure. I've been making it a point to have more basketball on. The playoffs have been fun to watch so far. So
I caught a game when I was at the club, but that was about it.
Yeah. You were saying was it the Atlanta game you were talking about the other day? Yeah. But yeah, saw the Nets got swept. Golden State moved on. Dallas moved on last night. Exciting stuff. I enjoyed the parts of the Thursday space I didn't miss. Need to hit the recording. Well, good news. We did record it. It has been all processed and shinied up. I just got to figure out where I am uploading it to. And we will have it to you, I would say, no later than early afternoon. I'll work on that as soon as I get on the show, though, because it was a great spaces. We had the Madman from the Lab game up there. We had a fellow from Xverse up there as well, and then of course you and I were talking, and then I can't forget about Beth Jezos from Eternal Elves, and we did a panel
about Beth Jezos.
Don't forget about Beth Jezos. No, he's great. We've talked to him before on spaces and whatnot. I love that team. They're they've continued to have a strong showing for Eternal Elves, and we just had a great conversation around what we're gonna I think we're just gonna try and refer to it as P2O now instead of P2E. Is that right?
P2O, baby.
The gavel has fallen, and we have decided that we are rebranding to Play to Own, which is I think a much better moniker for that than Play to Earn. But yeah, that was a great space. So
yeah, no, it's fabulous. It was fabulous. Like I said, we are doing that every week on Thursday. They're always going to be Play to Own, on-chain gaming focused. So we hope to see you there. We have a great guest panel next week.
Yeah, very excited to. We'll announce that shortly too. I'm seeing your connection bar on there is getting very low. It looks like maybe you're getting rugged by your Wi-Fi or your internet or something.
Is my mic scuffed? Yeah, maybe my.
No, it's. Yeah, it is. Like I could see it on Restream, like your connection bar, like the bars is on 1 instead of 4. So I don't know if your internet is just struggling.
Yeah, I'll go check though.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, climbing back up there. We're at 2. GM guys, good to be back with you all as well. Ben Thabit is Tabit. Sorry, I mispronounced that. Just say Ben. First time catching these live. Welcome, appreciate it. Crypto Cosmos, thank you. I am feeling much better. Ashtray, Grand Risings, my friend. Sandman, always a pleasure. Crypto Link, Arnold, Cuggles, love you guys. Free market. Oh no, you're still low. Technical difficulties. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Let's just run it and see what happens. Maybe it'll fix itself, or maybe it just won't sound that bad. We'll see. There it is. GM Degens, and welcome back to the AlphaMint AM Morning Show. It is April 29th. I lost track of it there. And it is episode 116. I am your host, R2Degen, and I am joined with me by my co-host, as always, every morning, FMC.
Hey now.
Hey now. Good to be back up with you. Yeah, we were talking about it in the pre-show. Had a little bit of a bout with COVID for the last couple days, so just had to shut it down. I would not have been able to make it through very many sentences on this show, but the rest, and the multivitamins or whatever, seem to have worked. Seem to have put me in a pretty decent spot to get back up on stage. I'm very excited to do so. And yeah, we definitely have a couple things to go over today. Obviously, the big talk of the town is this culmination of these huge events. We had Moonbirds, obviously minted out at the 2.5 ETH mark. VFriends was a pretty expensive mint, but 50,000 of them. So that's sitting at that was minting out at 0.3, 0.33, something like that. And then, of course, the other side is what's coming this weekend. And again, this is going to be a huge, I guess, what some people call a liquidity suck, but it is a massive event in the market. And I do think it's going to dictate how things go one way or another. We're going to go over some of the details of that. It's definitely not going to be cheap, especially with the way that the price of Ape has been going. We will also touch on that. But I'm excited to hop back in it with you. How have your last few days been?
Great. Amazing.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's just get right into it then. Last time we were on the show was Monday morning, and we were talking about the kind of sudden dip in the cryptocurrency market. It's had some ups and downs in that time, absolutely. But it seems to be somewhat stable. We keep flirting around with that $2,800 mark. With ETH right now, it's sitting at 28.74. Bitcoin has kind of tried to break through that 40,000 mark. It has a couple times, along with ETH breaking the $3,000 mark, but it was never held. And now we're back in this range between 2,800 and 3,000. The S&P is slightly down this morning too. Everything has just kind of been in a bit of a downward trend. What are you seeing when you're looking at the charts and you're kind of taking the macro into consideration?
We had quite the snapback rally yesterday. Markets were up quite a bit. It was extremely bullish. For the last 3 sessions, we have seen really, really red candles on macro markets, and crypto is tied again to the macro markets after decoupling slightly. But with the S&P and especially the NASDAQ rolling over last week and early this week, it was looking pretty bad for risk assets in general. ETH got right down to that 2,800 support again, and given how sentiment was and things looked around it, it looked like it was going to break through it. It actually looked like it was going to break down. Now, on Friday, we had a down 5% session in the NASDAQ and down 3% on the S&P, and we closed on the absolute lows. And when we came in this week, we were really expecting a complete crash, and we kind of didn't. And then yesterday, when it looked like we were going to take out the lows of the year on the S&P 500, we snapped back and ended up rallying over 3% on the NASDAQ. Now, after hours, there were some earnings reports and a little bit of air let out of the balloon. The critical area on the S&P was 4240. We got above that, and it was basically a short squeeze, a short covering rally. We've come in today, and the S&P is right smack dab at the futures, not the actual index. But the S&P futures are at 4232 right now. They're testing that 4240 level. If we can stay above that, we remain very, very short-term bullish and a good chance to get the chart healthy again. That will spill over into ETH. I think it's all taking its cue from the NASDAQ and the S&P, so that's what I'm watching. 2,800, still the level that we need to hold. If we lose that, Goblin Town gets happy. So keep an eye on that level for ETH.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a bumpy ride over the past, well, I guess let's just say 30 days. But yeah, the last 7 days in particular has bounced off that $2,800 mark twice. I would assume from what I've been picking up over time, talking to you, one more bounce at 2,800 could mean off to the races up, right? Like if you test that 3 times and it holds, it's a pretty good sign that it's a pretty firm support.
Yeah, 3 knocks at the door. Okay, if it doesn't go through on the 3rd knock, it's usually an indication that whatever side is trying to push it doesn't have the energy or velocity to do so. And we will see. Again, it is precarious here. We are right at kind of critical support before things fall apart, and that's the same on NASDAQ and the S&P. It was a very nice snapback rally yesterday, but it was all short squeezing. It wasn't actual buying. We need to see the buyers come back in. Until then, we have made lower highs and lower lows since the beginning of the year. So on watch for that, and we will see if 2,800 holds here. I tend to believe it will. And even if we have, say, a dip, and especially these weekend dips, I think it's different when we lose support on a Monday. If we go into this weekend and say dip to 2,700 or even something like 2,650, but, it's quickly back at 2,800, I do feel kind of bullish here. I just think we have to get through the next few sessions, but we'll see. We have to adjust to reality, as I always say. So we'll see if 2,800 holds here.
Always love the weekends. The weekends always feel strangely eventful in crypto as the rest of the markets close.
Obviously, we have a seminal event in our little niche of crypto here, which we'll get to later, and we'll see what Spot has to say. I would argue right now, ApeCoin is driving a lot of the sentiment in Ether in general. So we're going to see. We'll talk about that later.
We'll find out. Yeah, definitely have that queued up, and that'll be the majority of the conversation. There's a couple of things going on there. Panama passes law to regulate Bitcoin legally recognized DAOs. The law will regulate the use of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin in the Central American country, as well as provide a legal framework for DAOs and STOs. This is pretty fascinating. Obviously, we talked a bunch about El Salvador going this route. This one is a little bit different. It hasn't made it legal tender just yet. It will be up to businesses as choosing if they want to accept it or not. Whereas El Salvador, if you were technologically feasible to be able to receive Bitcoin, you did actually have to. But not a huge country, but another kind of domino falling for the adoption of cryptocurrency. Some of these Central and Latin American countries kind of taking it upon themselves to maybe be a destination for some of the crypto wealth that has been accumulated as they look to remove the capital gains component of the cryptocurrencies. So do I think Panama is really going to move the needle on any of this? Not a ton. But I do think that it is a step in the right direction for other countries to just at least feel the pressure to have to do something about it. Not sure how much you agree with that, or you see this as a big event or not. You there?
Panama is one of the central tax havens in the world, and it not necessarily where people put the money, but certainly where people process it. Wink, wink. And I am not surprised that they are adopting cryptocurrency. So.
Yeah, no, they definitely felt like really high up on the list as the next to kind of go that route. Speaking of adopting cryptocurrency and the big push for acceptance, your mayor, Eric Adams, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, listen to those within the cryptocurrency. That's a quote by him. New York's Bitcoin-friendly mayor called upon regulators to listen to those working in the industry. He made some headlines back when he was elected, saying he was going to take his first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin. He has been a strong supporter of cryptocurrencies in general and trying to bring a lot of that innovation and that wealth into New York City, as if it doesn't have enough of it. But New York is, the center of North America, basically. I mean, it's the center of finance. It's the list goes on and on and on. I think this is a absolutely massive, step in the right direction that he continues to talk about it. It wasn't just an election platform that he used to maybe get some votes, but he continues to believe in it. And this makes me feel very bullish. I'm assuming as a citizen of NYC, you're feeling good about the mayor position.
It's certainly good. It's certainly nice. We know that New York is a major hub for crypto startups, Uniswap being the most famous. And we are also under some of the strictest laws in the entire country when it comes to crypto. And that is thanks to the Southern District of New York. They are strict in their interpretations of certain things. And since we are the center of finance, the SEC sets up shop here. And that has been a hindrance to those of us that want to, completely go into crypto. As small examples are Binance is not allowed here. We cannot use Binance. Many coins on Coinbase are not tradable. Tezos and DeSo come to mind that I cannot trade them on Coinbase. So there is...
I forgot about that too. Yeah, we've talked about that. Sorry, keep going.
There is a strange amount of regulation in a state that harbors some of the most important startups in the entire industry. I don't know how much influence or effect the mayor is going to have. The mayor of New York City is going to have, though it is the most powerful non-federal position in the world, they say. So we will see.
Yeah, I mean, even just as a rallying cry and, a platform of exposure for somebody to be kind of yelling this out as the mayor of New York has to have some kind of implications, I would think. Well, even if it's just to rally the troops, so to speak.
I mean, because of the proximity to the largest banks in the world, it gives the New York City mayor even federal levels of negotiating power, essentially acting as a lobbyist for the financial industry. So it can be positive, but again, we'll see. I mean, New York is very slow when it comes to things like alternative investments, sports betting, poker. We're very slow. We're a little archaic in those ways. Maybe I will take a heartening sign from cannabis, in which we had some pretty archaic laws. And even when they were going to legalize it, what they had proposed was very restrictive. And it ended up being, when it did finally get drafted, the most liberal laws in the world. So I'm going to hold out hope that the same happens for poker and legalized gambling and crypto.
Yeah, you got it. He's obviously going head to head with Francis Suarez, the mayor of Miami, to drive business and crypto adoption into their cities first. But you know what? Honestly, I love to see it. So moving on, we'll talk more about NFTs now. Domain names are fueling the latest NFT craze on Ethereum. ENS names have been flying off the shelf in the last 24 hours, over $1.3 million in volume. We talked a lot on the show when ENS did the airdrop. It got up to, I think you said, almost $90 on the chart. That is, of course, the token, the governance token for the ENS system. But they are very much in vogue right now as people are looking to grab up the .eth domain names. I think a lot of the wind was taken out of the sails when was it Brantley Milligan or something. There was a kind of a big, controversy around things that he said. He was very public on a Twitter space by just like doubling and tripling down on those thoughts in the face of all kinds of opposing viewpoints. And honestly, now that I think about it, haven't really heard much from it since that point, but it seems to be on the rise. The ENS token itself is sitting at about $18 right now, having a little bit of a swell over the past week since Tuesday. It looks like it's up maybe just over 10%, or maybe not even that much. But yeah, how are you feeling about ENS? I know that you've always been a big proponent of it. You were very bullish on the token, and you have definitely purchased some ENS domain names yourself.
ENS feels like a volcano that every once in a while puts out a little bit of smoke, and everyone's like, holy shit, this thing's going to fucking erupt. And then it goes quiet again. And the potential for ENS domains is massive. And the latest craze right now are 3-digit and 4-digit numbers for obvious reasons. These link up with your NFT. And if you know someone who's Bored Ape 383 or Bored Ape 555, which was sold for 55.5 ETH yesterday, then it's a very, very desirable property. It's a very desirable NFT. It is very desirable meta land, real estate on the Ethereum blockchain. That is what people are buying here. And you can do all sorts of things. You can link websites. You can link your wallet. You can create subdomains. The potential here is massive, and most of these are in the hands of private collectors. Soon, it will be Web 2 and corporations that are looking for these, much like Budweiser, who had set the previous record for an ENS name by buying beer.eth for 32 ETH, did last year. Now, this latest craze is obviously about numbers. I don't know how long once they're all bought up, the domain craze is going to last. As we say, this pops up every month or two, and everyone's like, oh, ENS domain names are the next big thing. We have a few record sales, and then it goes back quiet again. Again, one of these days, I really do think the volcano is going to erupt. I think one interesting way to play it beyond trying to figure out which names you would buy would be the token, as R2 was showing you there. It was an airdrop, one of the highest profile airdrops of all time.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, that was a crazy mint.
It got up to $90. I forget, it opened around 20 or 30 or something like that. It got up to $90 over the course of a week or two. Then it crashed down to 40 or 50 and consolidated there for a while. And then it crashed all the way down to 14 to 16. Obviously, the controversy with Brantley didn't help. Many people were taking ENS domains out of their Twitter handles. It was a big thing. Fast forward, for the last 6 months or 5 months or whatever it is, it's been in a $14 to $16 range. Over the last week, as the Moonbirds and Apes have rediscovered the joy of ENS names, the token has moved from $14 up to 20 yesterday. It's pulled back a little to 18 right now. But given the previous support and resistance between $40 and $50, it makes a lot of sense to me that this would rally. Now, I believe it and everything else is being held back by a macro risk-off, will we or won't we situation right now. But when it does get going, I really like the thesis here. I think everybody is going to start thinking about ENS names deeper. It happens every cycle, and very, very bullish on ENS myself. I own names. I was airdropped the coin. I sold it. I bought it back. I like ENS.
There you go. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be one of those services, and services have been kind of, really getting a lot of attention put on them right now. Obviously, ENS being the recipient of that too. But we saw the pre-mint pass go all the way up to 3.5 ETH. It's cooled off. I think it's sitting just below 2 ETH now. Obviously, the Proof Collective pass has been just like astronomical, and then Moonbirds itself. You mentioned Moonbirds, a lot of like people with the .eth domain names participating in that and whatnot. Just as a quick check-in, just because it was prior to the Otherside going down this weekend, obviously the talk of the last 2 weeks, but Moonbirds has been holding that 30 ETH floor. I did check in on it over the last couple days here and there, and I did see it got as low as 25 ETH, which is just still absolutely astounding. But Moonbirds is on a mission, and it didn't seem like the little bit of FUD that came from Ryan Carson breaking off and doing his fund. It didn't seem like that really slowed it down. I actually sent you a tweet from Kobe too, which I thought was funny because it mirrored the exact same thoughts that you said. But he basically saying, God forbid Ryan Carson leverages up his name and his status to get all of his VC buddies to basically buy all of our bags. And I thought it was a pretty apt point when you made it, and I thought it was just as apt when Kobe made it too.
Yeah, I mean, I never understood. First of all, nobody knows what a liquidity suck or a liquidity injection is. They keep mislabeling. Oh, this is going to pull liquidity out of the market, then it injects it. Oh, this is going to inject liquidity into the market, then it pulls it out. You're all chickens with your heads cut off. When these VCs are courting the massive billions of dollars that exist in traditional finance and Web 2, we should be encouraging it in every manner. If you as a fucking NFT trader don't want to go buy it, don't. Just enjoy the hundreds of millions of dollars that is now flowing in to buy your bags.
Yeah, I mean, the outside money has to come from somewhere, right? And having somebody on that side of it pulling it in is definitely one of the things that it takes to get there. A couple other projects that launched. We saw Ragnarok do the mint. I think it minted out around 0.7. It has been on an absolute tear. There is still some more to come. They have a couple more phases to mint out the other 1,100 of them that are kind of left to go. But it seems like that will obviously be a foregone conclusion that it will happen, and it will happen very quickly. Sitting at just under a 3 ETH floor. I'll give it a quick refresh there because it's been moving in both directions pretty frequently, taking a little bit of a dip there. But Ragnarok, the demo came out. I've heard people say good things about it. Very, very polished. And, I think a lot of people have seen a lot of success on there. It'll be, interesting to watch it go down and see what they continue to pull out. Did you participate in it? Do you know anybody that did?
No, I did not mint it, but the homie Robert called this one in the Baddies Alpha chat. So shout out to him. This thing was an absolute cook. Minted at 0.7. Love the art, love the look. Obviously, an extremely high quality team. Fits right in with that good old anime meta. I think people like it. Long term, who know? I mean, people like Mori, people like Art of Seasons, people like Akuma. There's a lot of these out there. I think there are enough people in crypto that love anime, so we will see. The roadmap that you see laid out in front of you is about execution. The time between now and the execution will certainly dictate floor price unless they have surprises up their sleeves. So we don't know. But yeah, quite a nice cook.
Yeah, absolutely. 8,600 volume traded already, and these things have been flying. So if you got into the the first iteration of Ragnarok, there you are having a great time. And yeah, I think they look good. But as you said, like roadmap's all about execution, and from what I'm hearing, they have a fantastic team that should be able to make that happen. Another project that's been kicking around for a long time. I know you have some strong feelings about this one. Was the Imaginary Ones? I guess 3D kind of counter. Not I shouldn't say counterpart because they're not affiliated with Invisible Friends, but definitely the Invisible Friends vibe done in 3D form. They minted as low. They did a Dutch auction. I think it got as low as 0.2. My apologies. I'm still trying to catch up on some stuff, but it is sitting at a 0.8 floor pre-reveal. So hit me with your feelings on Imaginary Ones. This was one thing that I honestly, if I have to admit, I was in the Discord a long time ago, and I almost had been so long that I'd forgot that it even existed.
This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. We just went through Squiggles. Like, this isn't even good. It's not even good. Like, Squiggles was a 3D Doodles derivative by a team known to run rugs. Imaginary Ones is a 3D Invisible Friends derivative run by a team that is known to make rugs. I mean, this is the exact same.
I completely missed that part of it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it was fucking Squiggles themselves. Look at this. It's the exact same. And it had 250,000 followers on Twitter. They were following 0 people. It's classic. And the art is so bad. The concepts are so bad. I don't even know how the market paid this attention. Like, I would understand if Instagram bought this horse shit, but the fact that anybody in NFT world and Twitter was even acknowledging this thing, worst fucking thing I've ever seen. Low effort, ugly junk.
Yeah, I guess I completely missed the boat on the connection to Squiggles, because I do check in on Squiggles every once in a while, just to kind of see if they're still kicking. But yeah, I don't own any of them. I never wanted to, and I never will. But they got delisted. They were trying to survive on Looks Rare, and it has not gone well for them. If you stumble into their Discord every once in a while, there's a few people hanging on to the dream. But,
I mean, if anything can make you appreciate the Invisible Friends art, it's seeing things like this.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, that went down. I guess they're still happening, free market, but you know what? They seem to be fewer and further between.
Well, I could care less at this. Honestly, at this point, anybody who buys into these things deserves it. We have literally gone through 3 months of this. We had 3D animals. We had 3D doodles. It's the same fucking thing. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 8 million times, you're a fucking moron. Let's move on.
You mentioned Instagram, and that's where we're going to start with the Bored Apes. The Bored Apes did have their Instagram hacked, so I guess Yuga not immune to hacks themselves, as you know, we're often pretty critical of all of the hacks that we see. Pardon me, in the Bored Ape ecosystem. The Instagram account was hacked. They did put up a link for a free land drop, of which people connected their wallets to this link. There was they broke it down here. My apologies. 91 NFTs with about a $2.8 million valuation were stolen, and they was a couple of apes. There it is. Yeah. They got 4 Bored Apes, 7 Mutant Apes, a couple Bored Ape Kennel Clubs, a Clone X, and a bunch of other ones. Again, total value of about $2.8 million. I find it so fascinating that with how meticulous Yuga is with their marketing, their build-ups, their launch dates, posting everything, that anybody with a Bored Ape is on Instagram, sees this pop up, and just fucking blindly clicks on this link, goes balls deep on it, and thinking they're going to get something free from Yuga. I'm just so surprised. Like Yuga needs to take some of that money and just rally up all of their holders and make them sit through a 2-hour security seminar at this point, because it's crazy.
I'm not surprised, and I actually have a very, very nice offer for any apes out there. Send me your seed phrase. I will sell your ape, and I will send you half the money, and that will save you 50% on the lesson that these morons just learned after clicking this link. 50% off just for today. Hit me up.
I don't get the willingness of having a $450,000 NFT in your wallet and like to just click on links and feel FOMO. Like, Yuga is not going to do a stealth drop for anything. I don't understand how we're still talking about this stuff. I hate being critical of it. I would love to own a Bored Ape. I would love to say that I wouldn't make these mistakes and whatnot either. It baffles me. So
we spent the last 3 months running 6,000 purses spaces about stupidity. I'm over it. If these people get caught, it's just the free market at work. Thanks for playing.
It is what it is. You're right.
Just so you guys know, there is an ape DAO, which is insurance, and it buys stolen apes. So all these morons are going to get their apes back, the hackers are going to get paid, and everybody goes on their happy way.
Yes, I actually forgot about that component of it too. You shouldn't feel like you're free rolling with a Bored Ape. You can just do whatever the fuck you want because you're going to get it back. I don't know if I love that.
Why not? They're fucking wealthy. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so, right? Let's move on to ApeCoin. ApeCoin obviously going bananas this week, sorry. Hitting upwards of almost $27 in the last 24 hours, a huge spike there as we approach the Otherside land drop. And again, this is the kind of the big moment in the market. And I do think it's going to wrap up that trifecta of the Moonbirds, VFriends, and the Otherside drop. So there's lots to kind of unpack with this. So far, the details that they've announced is it's going to be going live at on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. So, any Bored Apes out there that sees a link before then, don't do it. But I mean, it really has, the price of ape has just gone crazy over the past week since they've announced it. It looks like it's going to be starting at or they're going to be selling these for 305 apes. So at current value, that's about 2 ETH. It could go higher than that. And there's some risk involved in this too. Obviously, the KYC process that the Yuga Labs put out there the better part of a month ago was leading up to this. So you did have to KYC and attach your wallet to it. A lot of strong feelings still coming out for that. And, people feeling like they're missing out because they refuse to KYC. I'm kind of coping myself because I've KYC'd so many things and I don't know why I just didn't do that one. But it is what it is. And here we are. So they're going to be selling them in waves. The people who have the KYC allowed list are going to be able to do it. And then they're going to, up the total transaction or the mint amount as time goes on until these things are sold out. What are you thinking about this? What do you think it's going to do to the market? What do you think it's going to do to ApeCoin as, people have kind of loaded up on this and, the utility of it is going to kind of come and go on the weekend? Obviously there will be more in the future, but I think that this is, I think a lot of people have specifically loaded up on this to buy as many as they can.
Yes, we had been debating for the better part of a week whether they were going to price this in ape or ETH. Most people believed ape. There was a contract loaded to testnet over the week that showed ape being priced at 300 ape. So we were about right here. It was priced at 305. Now, markets know things are coming. We buy the rumor, we sell the news. Everybody knew that this was coming. And then last night, all of a sudden, the Otherside metaverse tweeted out, Dutch auctions are stupid. we're going to price the land in 305 ape. Now, anybody who rushed to go buy 305 ape at $27 is probably pretty pissed this morning, as we basically ran into a situation where anybody who wanted ape has fucking ape. Anyone who wants this land spent the last week buying ape so that they could get this land. There were no buyers left. That's all. It's not that it wasn't a good idea. It's not that it was just that there were no buyers left. Now that it's pulled back to 21, maybe it's actually a decent buy around here. The thing is, there's no reason to buy it unless you already linked your wallet to their site. So if you did not, your best chance is to get it on the secondary. The land is rumored to have 10,000 codas embedded in the land. You find them secretly. They are hidden in the land. So you buy a random piece of land. If it contains a coda, that could be a little 30 ETH present hidden in your piece of land. So keep on the lookout for that. I don't believe it's confirmed, but it seems that the other rumors from these sources I have panned out, so I believe it. And this will be tomorrow. Looking forward to it. A seminal moment in our industry. We will see what the repercussions and second order effects are.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see, based on this, and I do think it's going to be incredibly successful. I think it's going to sell out, no problem. I don't think there's any doubt in anyone's mind here. But we're going to see how Yuga Labs continues to kind of keep this ball rolling and execute, as you've kind of said in the past. There is going to be a time where they do have a misstep and where they, something doesn't go according to plan, or maybe they just misread the situation. I don't think that this is going to be it. So I'm really, really excited to go and watch all of this go down. I did like the article that they put out too, where they said Dutch auctions are actually bullshit. Other deeds will be sold for 305 ApeCoin. And they basically, went on to say NFT Dutch auctions are actually bullshit. They do not successfully mediate demand, nor do they really negate gas wars in highly anticipated mints. This is especially problematic when you consider that the Otherside mint may be one of the largest scale, high demand NFT mints ever. All the usual problems with NFT gas wars would be exacerbated by the sheer number of NFTs to be minted, which could result in a gas war of historic proportions. So actually, fuck doing a Dutch auction. Obviously, there was a lot of speculation that they would be doing a Dutch auction. I'm glad that they have not only decided not to do that, but put out this statement, because I do think it does show a lot of thought, care, and respect towards the NFT ecosystem. Even though all of this is going to cost thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, I do think that they should be conscious of this.
What is that even? Dutch auctions are fucking great. I don't even understand what they're talking about. When there's demand, what's the difference? A Dutch auction from Yuga Labs at 2.5 is just a sale at 2.5. It's not even a Dutch fucking auction. I don't even know what they're talking about here.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, when you phrase it like that, you're not wrong, because it was going to sell out probably at almost the price point that
they're being Bernie fucking Sanders right here. They're trying to appeal to the lowest common. Oh, we're of the people. We're of the. Blow me. You're getting 2.5 ETH. Move along.
I do think the mechanic of these waves kind of is interesting too. I have no opinion on how it's going to go, and I don't think that anything that Yuga Labs does is a good use case or a test case for anyone else. They play by different rules. They play on a different. They play in a different dimension. But you absolutely are going to see other projects try and form it like this, because I mean, you guys often imitated, right? So
I'm once again asking you to buy my worthless shitcoin and use it to buy a worthless piece of land. Thank you.
That was actually pretty good. I gotta hand it to you. I totally knew that you were doing your Al Pacino voice there. No, too soon?
No, Jay. It was a wonderful interview with Julie Pacino the other day. We're actually besties now, Julie Pacino. And I put out a fabulous collection on Super Rare. Go cop that. Her movie premiere in Hollywood. Shot at the Madonna Inn this fall. You got to own an NFT to get in. This is Hollywood, baby. This is... See you there, suckers.
Cambo's saying you better be nice to Bernie, FMC. Old man Bernie. Just to break down that other, you mentioned the test contract that was found. It does look like there is going to be 200,000 of these combined. There will be, it looks built in to be 100,000 of the future mint, 100,000 for this mint, 55,000 for the public sale, 15,000 of them reserved for contributors, and then of course the Bored Apes and the Mutant Apes themselves getting access to them too. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be a lot to talk about on Monday too, and I'm really kind of looking forward to it. What do you think we're looking at come Monday? What do you see there? We're talking OpenSea secondary sales. Do you see these?
No idea, but it's going to be really fucking obvious in retrospect.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. I guess the point is, if people are paying willingly about 2 ETH for these, you got to assume that there's going to be some multiple.
I don't have a read here because I find the whole thing stupid. So I think my bias is probably coloring what I think is going to happen here. So I don't have an answer.
Fair enough. Yeah. Honestly, with the way Moonbirds went, I think it's all fair game at this point. So we will see. Bored Apes also, on that note, hitting 150 ETH floor this morning as they continue its non-stop trajectory upwards. Pretty outstanding stuff there. So
people hate the coin eyes. The coin eyes are always on the floor.
The coin eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it.
That one's a little messy. I mean, why is he wearing his captain's hat with his Patagonia vest? I don't get it.
All right, man. It's Friday. Oh, what do you got going on? What do you got going on today, this weekend?
I am going to watch the land sale.
Be glued to it. A lot of Europeans were pissed off that they scheduled it at 9 p.m. as well.
Yeah, boo-hoo.
What is it? 5-hour difference, 5 to 2 a.m., 3 a.m. secondaries. Yeah. You know what?
I'm sure they'll set their alarm.
Well, that's my thing, and I mean, it's easy for, I guess, us to say, being on an Eastern time zone where we often get favorable hours for a lot of things, but yeah, for something as big as this, like, man, I'd go to bed at 8 p.m. Set my alarm for 2, get up and have at it. That's once in a while. So you go on a vacation. Your flight's at 5 in the morning. You just get up. You go do it. It's great. Whatever.
Yeah, buy Fanta Bears if you want something in your time zone. Just
Fellboy asking about Raid Party thoughts. Yeah, I mean, we could probably talk about Raid Party for a couple minutes before we wrap it up.
Zach has an announcement today. He came into the Discord last night and mentioned it. Liquidity was added to the pool today, and we are probably anticipating updates on the marketplace, guilds, and foraging. So that's basically it. I want to see what this announcement is today. Basically, is Amazon down 12%? That's
I saw something about Amazon getting crushed earlier too.
Yeah, that's probably why the market's tripping here. Well.
Yeah, I mean,
they report the same day as Apple. That's ballsy.
Oh, we never even talked about the Elon and Twitter. It kind of happened in real time at the end of our show last week, but
and then it happened.
A lot of people I didn't realize how many people were pissed off about this.
Pissed off?
Yeah.
That a billionaire is buying the most important information highway in the entire world. That all news and information is disseminated through. now controlled by crazy man who wants to go to Mars.
They're worried that old DJT is going to be back on the platform. Some people are saying that this is the death of free speech, which I find odd. But yeah, pissed off that a billionaire spent his money on something. So
we are not licensed or qualified to give financial advice. Introspection is the best thing to do.
Are you talking to Douglas there?
What do you say?
Are you talking to Douglas there in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, honestly, whatever you do, don't put all of your bags in one basket is what I would say. But yeah, not I guess NFA.
Don't put any bags in a basket.
Don't put any bags in the basket.
Yes.
No baskets, no bags.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Raid Party, sitting at 92 cents right now, ish, maybe a little bit more. It's been tough to watch, but my guys are still in there hacking away at the boss. I don't even know how much confetti I have. I honestly haven't touched it.
There were certainly internal issues with Raid Party, but play to own in general is down 50 to 80% across the board. So it is largely also the meme going around right now that play to own is dead. Or that on-chain gaming doesn't work, which is nonsense. I have been buying on-chain gaming the last few days into this FUD, including Raid Party. I do believe today's announcement is going to be bullish. I don't think the assets there are going much lower. I find the art underappreciated and some of the best out there. And I think that the death of play to own has been greatly exaggerated.
Yeah. I mean, I have to agree with you. That was a lot of what our space was centered around last night. I mean, NFTs and gaming, it's taking Raid Party and everything else out of the equation. I mean, they're matches made in heaven. They were made for one another. So dead, no. Temporary depression, sure, can't deny that at all. Either the attention has moved on and is elsewhere right now, but not even in the slightest worried about the state of that. There was a time when they called traditional gaming a fad too. They called the internet a fad as well. So we will definitely prevail from that. But yeah. And I actually had a question for you. Maybe you can answer this in terms of Raid Party. What happened? Like, did Hassan and the other guy leave the Discord, or did they just go on alt accounts? I was so unclear on what happened with that.
They left the Discord for maybe 14 hours or so. As again, they're just being violently abused in the chat. People are
death threats. Like, what the fuck?
I know. And these are kids who are obviously acting out of emotion. No one can blame them being angry after the auction and how much money they are down. But something I have been trying to impart on them is that at this point, all of their concerns have been stated, not just once, but thousands of times. It has literally been typed ad nauseum by multiple people. There's literally nothing new or constructive coming from the people who are FUDdy. They're just doing it to troll at this point. Now, whether they got rid of their bags or they just don't care anymore, for those of us that would like to be constructive and do believe that this is going to come out of the cycle that it's in, feel that it's not helpful. And I don't blame the team for not wanting to be in that general chat. It's a toxic place. And that does not mean that the team is not working. And like I said, they're going to have updates today. I also don't think they should be pressured for updates. I mean, an update for update's sake means nothing. When you force a time schedule and say, we need updates every day or we need updates every week, you're forcing them to say something maybe before they're ready to say it. they're going to be scrambling everywhere. Like, oh, we got to say something. We have to do when they may accidentally overpromise something, or something has to change, and it causes more delays and more FUD, and people get angrier, and expectations got too high. So I think that they should put out updates when either features are ready or they have a very concrete timeline for something, like it went into testnet and they're ready to launch it in a few, those type of things. Otherwise, I think they should be completely ignoring what's happening in the general chat unless there is a very pertinent, constructive question or suggestion. And it's kind of my
yeah. I mean, it starts and stops with death threats for me. I mean, come on. Especially if you're a holder of that project and you want to see it do well, or you want some kind of return on your investment or whatever, you're going to go in there and start threatening people. It's not cool. I mean,
their biggest issue has been communication, and they are now regularly communicating in the general chat, even with all the FUD. And like I said, announcement coming today. Let us see how they're going to turn the ship around.
Yes, sir. Yeah. All right. I am running out of steam here, my friend. But we made it to the hour mark, which I'm very, very happy about. It was good to be back up on here with you. Obviously, we're gonna have a lot to talk about on Monday, which we will be back to doing. Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on before we finish up here?
No, sir.
All good, all good. All right, guys. Well, happy Friday. I hope everyone has an incredible weekend. I hope when we come back on stage, ETH is above that $3,200 mark that we all know and love. Feels nice and comfortable there. If you tuned in late to the show, obviously it is always recorded and will be up on YouTube for you to watch or listen to later. We talked about the crypto markets. It's been a bumpy ride since we were last on stage here in Monday. We talked about the ENS sales really kind of picking up and where they're going. Panama regulating and legally recognizing Bitcoin and DAOs. That was an interesting topic. We talked about the New York City mayor, being very, very crypto friendly and pushing the narrative forward. Good advocate to have. Ragnarok was an absolute cook. Congratulations to anybody that got in on that play. And an exciting looking project. And, if they can continue to deliver on their roadmap, will be great. Not invisible. Imaginary ones, Mint. Didn't realize the connection to Squiggles there, but incredible that it is where it is right now. Wouldn't be expecting too much more out of that. And then, of course, Bored Apes, the Bored Ape hack, the Otherside, ApeCoin, the idea of Dutch auctions, all of that good stuff. Then finished it off with some just chat about raid parties. So I appreciate you all showing up today. Sorry that we were unavailable to do I was unavailable to do the shows for the last 2 days or 3 days, but definitely on the mend, and I appreciate everyone's patience. So on that note, love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Free market. Get us out of here.
Good luck at the tables, D-Gen.